Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Raynday Gaming. My name is Raynday, and today we're going to be taking a look at Anubis and doing a god guide on this god of the dead. The Egyptian god of the dead, of course. Anubis is one of the oldest characters in SMITE, and I'm excited to let you guys know what it's like and how you might want to be playing and building this guy. As I've kind of developed a build I really like for him, I used another different build in a little different video that was probably, I say, at least 6 months old, 8 months old possibly, that I did for Anubis called the Power Steel build. But I like this build a lot as well that I've been using. And so we're talking a little bit about Kenan and Kel here. But the main reason I'm going to be doing this video is to explain Anubis' passive, which surprisingly is something I didn't even understand, guys. And so I know that there are a lot of you that don't understand how it works, especially if I didn't. Not just saying it's just because I've been around him and played him so much. You know, I'm almost at legendary with him, so it's like I've played him a lot, I've been around him a lot, and I still don't understand it. So it's like I think it's good if you guys understand how it works. Basically, as you see here, every 0.5 seconds, those guys are taking a tick of damage from me. And so every tick of damage steals protections from them to me. And basically it means that, so every, 0.5 seconds, I'm taking 7 protections and 7 from both magical and physical protections, and they're losing 7 magical and physical protections every 0.5, and it stops at 3 stacks. So basically, I can gain 21 protections, both magical and physical, and they lose 21 protections, both magical and physical. So that's kind of one of the aspects that is interesting about it. What that also does is for those stacks, when I get those stacks, it allows me, as you see, I have 3 stacks right now, and they've lasted for 5 seconds because I hit, basically at least 3 times of a 0.5 tick of damage onto that Athena. I hit a lot more than that, and that damage really just exploded her. But you see there that I got my full stacks pretty quickly, and that's something you'll have with Anubis if you're using his combos. Now you see the second item I'm picking up here is Pythagoream's piece. Now why am I picking that up? Because lifesteal is incredibly powerful on Anubis as well. Because when you have your stacks, say I have my 3 stacks, for each stack that you have, you get an extra 33% magical lifesteal from the items that you have, okay? So that is a key description. That is the key point. If you do not have any lifesteal items on Anubis, if you don't build him with any lifesteal, you do not take advantage of this passive. That's why Bancroft's Talon, that's why Pythagoream's piece are really good items on Anubis to take advantage of this passive, because that means if you get 15% or 25% magical lifesteal, let's go with 10 because that's an easy number. You have 10% magical lifesteal. For 1 stack, you would gain an extra 33% magical lifesteal on that stack. And so that means your lifesteal would, instead of 10%, be 13.3%. Now, if you got your second stack, which would be pretty easy to do if you got 1, you would then have 16.6, right? Because you'd have, that second stack giving you another 33% magical lifesteal off your item. So 3.3 plus 3.3, that's 16.6. And if you do it again, you'd pretty much almost have 20 magical lifesteal with about 19.9. And that's just for a 10% magical lifesteal. If you had, 25% magical lifesteal, you can imagine how much more that would be if you're getting 33% of that for each stack and 3 stacks. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and it lets you know, 1, Anubis' passive is a lot stronger on the early game because taking 21 protections away from someone early game is a lot versus late game, which is not that much when, 1 item can give you 60 protections. That's not very much. But if you have one, I don't know, like any item pretty much that in the beginning of the game, when you have it, it's not going to be offering you as much protections. And so say you only have 20 protections on a physical protection item and you're a tank, by the 3rd stack, I've shredded all of your protections. And you're basically going into the fight or getting, mummified and getting hit like you have no defense items, which is crazy. So you see here, she's losing all her stacks, and now she's going down pretty quickly. That's why Anubis tends to take people down the more they stay around his damaging abilities. So you want to be comboing them with his number 2 mummify, and then throwing your number 3 underneath and using your number 1 to get in their face and just blast them with as much damage as possible. Now, Anubis' other combo, as you see, I wrap the Thor up here and just basically silence him with that mummify, make sure that he can't move, can't do anything, and then I throw my number 3 underneath him, which is a common move you want to basically master if you're Anubis. The one piece of advice I have for you guys, if you're going to play Anubis here, is to not use your mummify offensively. Use it defensively or use it cautiously. If you want to be super aggressive in style on people, sure, go ahead and use it. But the thing is, mummify is Anubis's big trump card. It is the way that you could basically kill someone as an Anubis no matter how low you are. Because you have lifesteal and because you have so much damage, you can literally turn a fight around. But the thing is, if you use your mummify, there is no way to stop that person from avoiding your damage and avoiding and just beating you up because you're such a stationary character. Once you've used your kit, you're dead. And so, if you don't use your kit and kill someone who's up on your face, then it's not going to be good. It's just not good for business. Let's say it that way. You're not going to be open for very long. Now, the Athena is trying to pressure this soul, and I go ahead and just stand there with my number 1, trying to get the stacks onto her, and I get 3 stacks onto her. I have extra lifesteal, and I decide to throw my number 3 underneath the Hebo, who's in a bad spot, forcing him to ult out of the way. Again, his presence is very strong on the battlefield. His number 3 will slow. It'll cause damage over time, and you see my ultimate there causing a huge amount of damage. It's basically a death laser. And one of the ways you can look at Anubis as a character and the way you want to play him is he's the ultimate closer. Anybody who's close to death, you pop that ultimate or you pop a mummify and throw your number 3, and you should be able to finish them off. I mean, he is one of the most damaging gods in the game, aside from Zeus, and because of his lack of, just kind of favor, currently he's not played, and just I think it's really based on his lack of mobility, which when you really look at it, Zeus has just as little mobility as him, and he has a strong CC. Now, the thing is, if you get hit with Anubis' mummify, and you have a team that's aggressive, like my Reigns clan here, and we're going in on it, it's tough, man. You can't really do anything. You have to buy beads. His hard CC really makes it so that you could be screwed, even if you're the best player. Even if you're in a good spot and you have a ton of health. If he hits you with that mummify and throws his kit on you, you will die. And that's what I love about Anubis. There's a high risk, high reward kind of gameplay, so if you're into that kind of mage style, you're going to like Anubis a lot as well. And maybe you already play Anubis, and maybe these are just some tips that are helping you to kind of understand, a little bit more of the dynamics of what you're actually doing. Again, now with another character building those physical defenses, my stacks aren't going to matter as much, but again, my damage is still going to be there. The Neath healing up a little bit, and me missing my mummify means that she gets away, and I'm not in a good spot. But again, I use my number 4 to basically secure the kill onto the Neath. The Alquan comes onto me, but I throw my number 3 down there and force him to retreat into Sky Zone's untimely stellar burst that takes him out of the fight. And now Ravan is going pretty hard trying to kill that Athena, and there's really nothing I can do as an Anubis. This is not a spot you want to be in. You want to run, support your teammates, and then immediately get back if you can. I use my mummify only to delay the Neath coming towards me and try and de-initiate her, expecting maybe I have something up my sleeve. If she didn't notice I used my ultimate, maybe I've got that, so she may be a little hesitant to run away. When you get mummy wrapped, you don't want to keep fighting, and that's kind of the thing. We're doing really well in this game, and as you can see, I'm playing Anubis the way you want to play Anubis. You do not want to be in the front lines. You want to always be in the back lines. You want to make sure you have people around you at all times. You want to add your damage. You want to set things up. But again, I'm not using my mummify recklessly. You notice I'm really barely using that. I'm barely using my number 3 as well. I'm waiting to catch someone in a bad spot. I'm waiting to capitalize off their aggressiveness, which is a great way to play Anubis if you want to really help your team snowball. Because an Anubis with 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills, that's a hard person to deal with, especially if they can just mummify you and make it happen. Now, I missed my mummy wrap, and that doesn't save my teammate's life. And you can see how powerful that would have been. If I would have hit that mummy wrap and just got the damage on the Ao Kuang, he's not thinking about executing, he's thinking about dying. And then I go ahead and secure the kill with him there with that death laser. Again, just knowing when to pop that, because I knew he was going to get away. But I really, really understood that we had to get that kill. He had just gotten a kill, and we need to make sure that he's not trying to snowball here, not trying to have a really good start. Even if you have a 9-3 game, if you give those 3 kills and 0 deaths to the Ao Kuang, that's going to be a bad situation for us, especially for me, because he's a kind of backline jumper. He'll try and jump into my territory and take me out. So one of those things you definitely want to look out for. So again, with Anubis, the tips I can offer are really just to be patient, be aware, be cognizant of who you're facing, and keep next to your opponents. One of the aspects of Anubis that I love so much is the high risk, high reward, so that, you know, there are opportunities where you can play more aggressively. You can go for a mummify. You can like run up to someone, mummify the crap out of them, and throw your, you know, 1 and then your 3 onto them, and just like basically screw them up, or 3 and then your 1. But you know what? Honestly, I found that less rewarding if you're killing someone and dying. I love killing someone and just killing someone. You see, I use my mummify there. I have no way to basically end the aggression from the Athena, but because no one is there, for the first time in the game, she does a taunt on me, and no one is there to follow up. It's just bad timing for the team. I would be super frustrated if that was that tank, because she's finally getting it, and you know, it's not working. The thing is, for her, Athena, you could really shut down characters who love to just dash in and do their thing, because of the fact that they dash in and you'll just mummify them. You'll just mummify them and then hit them with a ton of damage. As you see, look at my ultimate there, taking out 1, 2, 3 players, allowing Namasta with that soul to basically go ahead and burn them with the ultimate and the basic attacks and the stellar burst. Oh my gosh, the damage was real there, and what a perfect setup by our Athena. Just seriously, just putting them all in a line. I mean, that is the ideal place to be if you're trying to kill Anubis. Hitting 3 people with your death gaze is kind of like hitting the jackpot, because you're going to take down so much health from your opponent that there's really nothing they can do. They're not going to continue the fight. If anything, you're going to kill all of them, but they're definitely not going to be in the fight. Now, the build I'm using here obviously capitalizes on an early Pythagorean's piece, because I love the aspect of Pythagorean's piece giving me cooldown reduction. I love having Anubis' abilities up, especially his ultimate up more often. I would sometimes hit Chronos Pendant, but what I do is I go for Pythagorean's piece for my lifesteal and my cooldown, and then I go for basically just a straight damage build. I go for Soul Reaver and I go for Rod of Tahuti. That's what I like to get into. If you want to do Bancroft's Talon, you can. It'll be really nice, but I find that there's a ton of lifesteal involved with that. As you see, I just set up that Ao Kuang to die, and the Ravon takes him out as well. Just getting hit with my abilities really damaging him. The Athena gets a great pull as well. And for those of you guys who really don't know Anubis' abilities and are checking this out, that number 1 right there allows me to basically just do a damage over time to someone. And over the course of time, that's been Anubis' like heal, Achilles heel, because he has to stand still while doing most of his damage. So in a way, he does a ton of damage, but unlike Zeus can be more mobile without you know, basically by moving and still doing a ton of damage. You see, I'm being super patient here, waiting, and I somehow miss and get out of that patience there. It's unfortunate because I was being really patient, and again, I see the Neith in a bad spot. She gets slowed by my number 3, which also slows people. Despite having Gem of Isolation, that will just add to the slow if you want to, but my number 3 also slows people here. And then my number 2 is just a straight mummify, which wraps people in and just makes them unable to attack, unable to move for a few seconds. So the key is, you see me using my 3 and my number 2 in synergy. The idea is, if you use your number 2 and then you use your number 3 and then use your number 1, or use your number 2 and then you use your number 4 right away, you basically just can burst someone down without them moving. The best way to use it is definitely using your 2, 3, 4 if you have that available, or just your 2, 4, because your 4 is pretty much enough to take someone from 100 to 0 or 70 to 0 really quickly if you want. I try and be aggressive here. Again, that's what you can do as Anubis, but I don't suggest it, because, you know, it really does leave your trump card away. It doesn't give you the opportunity to do what you want. I get hit with the Hebo here, and look at my health. It's not really great. I need 500 more health, but look at this. Look at this lifesteal. Boom, baby. I'm back to full health. Give me that. And this is just a great showcase of that passive on Anubis, of what that can do. The Ao Kuang goes in and gets the kill, but I decided to go mummify the Thor, and that just does it right there. As you see, that's the quintessential Anubis combo, without the ultimate, of course. But that, when you don't have your ultimate available, is exactly how you want to take people out in this game. Just don't even give them an option to fight back. The Neith is there, and the team goes ahead with the surrender. Now, obviously, they aren't a Rainstorm teammates, because we don't surrender in Rainstorm. And for those of you who want to join our clan, we will be at 50,000, I'd say, in the next week and a half. So if you want to get into our clan, there will be 25 spots opening up, and that will be the last spots for a while until we reach 100,000 clan honor. But then I think we'll have 50 or 100 spots open after that. So it'll be a little bit of a dearth before you guys can join again, but at that point, pretty much a lot of you can join if you guys want to check that out. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and you have any tips about Anubis, please let me know. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and comment down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on Anubis and this video. Thanks so much, guys. As always, my name's Raynday. Never give up, never stop gaming, and I'll see you guys next time.